Christmas is over and the new year is just around the corner. So today we're going to ask you some serious questions to try and set you up for next year to be the best year you have had. God bless you guys. I will see you in there. Let's do this thing. Hello and welcome to Geek Devotions, the show from devoted geeks who are devoted to letting people know that they are loved. And today we have got an absolute treat for you. My name is Kieran, aka Pastor Skar. Yes, I am from Sydney, Australia. It's down south, by the way, in case you weren't aware. But look, today we're going to be talking about priorities. We're going to be talking about how important it is as we enter this 2020 season to line things up and go, okay, what is it that we need to focus more into? What do we need to pull back from? Where do those priorities need to lie? And how we can focus on our faith in that process. My name is Kieran. Like I said, I do stream on twitch.tv/Pastor Skar every single week. So if you ever want to hang out or ask more questions, by all means, feel free to jump on in. But right now, let's jump straight into this devotion. So today, I want to read a little passage for you. And it comes from Matthew chapter 6. And it says this. It's about the topic of not worrying. Because I know that, you know, at this time of the year, when December and Christmas and New Year, it can be a time of celebration. But for a lot of people, it's a time of pain and hurt and sadness and stress as the holidays come around and we start planning things out. And we start realizing that things we planned last year, we didn't end up doing, and all of those things. And so I just want to read to you this passage, and then we're going to talk about how in our lives we can set up some priorities to figure out what it is that we want to achieve in 2020. So it says this, do not worry, from Matthew chapter 6, from verse 25. It says this, therefore I tell you, do not worry about your life, what you will eat or drink, or about your body, what you will wear. Is not life more than food, and the body more than clothes? Look at the birds of the air. They don't sow or reap or store away in barns, and yet your heavenly Father feeds them. Are you not much more valuable than they? Can any one of you, by worrying, add a single hour to your life? And why do you worry about clothes? And, you know, see how the flowers of the field grow. They don't labor or spin, and yet I tell you that not even Solomon in all of his splendor was dressed like one of these. If that is how God clothes the grass of the field, which is here today and tomorrow is thrown into the fire, will he not much more clothe you, you of little faith? So do not worry saying, what shall we eat, or what shall we drink, or what shall we wear? For the pagans run after all these things, and your heavenly Father knows that you need them. But seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well. Therefore, do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble on its own. You know, right now, by the time that you are watching this, we're just a few days out for 2019 to be over and 2020 to be beginning. And I want to just take this moment to say, where are you at in terms of your priorities? Because a lot of the games that we play, right? A lot of the video games that we play, they have levels, they have stages, they have objectives, and you have to complete them in a certain order. To get to level 2, you have to complete level 1. You need to do things the way that the designer has programmed them. But in life, we often don't have that limitation on us. If you want to, you can go to work tomorrow. If you want to, you can stay home. And sometimes we make the wrong decisions. Sometimes we make decisions that are just the quick fix. It's the, well, this seems more fun. Is it the responsible thing to do? No. Is it the right thing to do? No. But it's quicker, it's more fun, because we know that we don't have to get through everything in stage 1 in order to get to stage 2. But what I want to encourage you right now is, as you think about this 2020 season, think about not only where you're at, but where it is that you want to be and what you need to invest more time in. Do you have a spouse, a husband or a wife, or a partner that you are neglecting a little bit too much? Do you need to start spending a bit more time with them? Are you in a scenario where you realize that you've really started exceeding in the workplace or maybe online or whatever, but your relationship with God has started to struggle? Is that something you need to invest more time into? Are you in a stage where your relationships with people are good and your relationships with God are good, but your mental health is just not in the state that it needs to be in? And if that's the case, then you need to start prioritizing that. I would love it if, for both you and I, we can step into 2020 not naively going, okay, cool, we're just going to go through and it's all going to work out, but instead to go in planned and calculated and saying, you know what, there are things that I'm good at, there are strengths that I have, but there are other things that maybe I need to sharpen up. Maybe that's my relationship with my husband or my wife. Maybe that's my walk with God. Maybe that's my mental health. Maybe that's just having some rest time. Maybe that's figuring out a schedule. Maybe that's talking to my employer about ways to get that work-life balance back in check. I don't know what that looks like for you. And realistically, I'm not going to know what that looks like for you because everyone has a different story. Everyone has a different life. But if I can encourage you, that one thing is throughout that process to remember what this verse says, where it says that we should seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be given to us as well. Instead of us worrying about every single little thing, but instead saying, you know what, I need to make sure all those things are in check. Absolutely. It is so important. But I have to make sure that if I want to have a successful, not just 2020, but a successful life, and maybe not in the traditional, means of success where people say success is just getting rich or whatever, but instead successful in living a fulfilled, wholesome life, we need to seek his kingdom first, to trust God, and to really, really prioritize that relationship. I really want to encourage you right now, as you sit here watching this video, start to think about those things. What do you need to do? Who do you need to Who do you need to talk to? Is there someone that you need to reach out to right now and say, hey, could we just have a chat? I'd love to apologize for whatever it is that happened way back when and make amends there. Is there someone you need to reach out to? Is there someone you need to share the gospel with that God is putting on your heart? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that, but you do. So the question of the day is simply this. In your life right now, what is one thing that you know that you need to up the ante in when it comes to 2020? What is that one thing? And I recognize that can be a personal question. Sometimes those are some really difficult questions to ask, but my challenge is that these are questions that, although they are difficult to ask, they need to be asked. Because if you don't take responsibility for your life, no one else will. This comes down to you saying, you know what, I want to be the best that I can possibly be. I want to honor my God the best that I possibly can. I want to be faithful to my spouse as best I can. I want to be, honoring my body and myself as much as I can. And that's going to come down to you making some serious decisions, asking some serious questions. So question of the day is simply that. What is that one thing? If you were to put it down to one thing, how can you what do you need to prioritize moving into 2020? Look, I want to keep this short, sweet, and simple. But again, if you do want to have any further chats about this with me, by all means, I am a real pastor of a real church. My name is Kieran, aka Pastor Skar. I'm sure the links will be down below or whatever. But look, the guys right here at Geek Devotions are amazing. Have a chat with them as well. But for now, I'm going to have to love you and leave you. So I know that there's a tagline that I'm supposed to say. All right. So I'm going to get this right. This is my first time on Geek Devotions. All right. So you'll have to be nice to me. But there you go. My standard sign off is K love you, bye, and God bless you. But my friends, I just want to say, stay devoted, peace and love. God bless, K love you, bye. See you guys.